This is James Lupton for Round 8 Boxing. I'm delighted to be joined with Pat Barrett. Pat, how are you?
I'm good, thank you. Very well.
Good stuff. Obviously, big fight night for yourself coming up this weekend. Just talk to me about the transition from fighter to trainer and promoter, and what have been the challenges in doing so?
Do you know what? Everything's been difficult really because from going from fighter to trainer wasn't really that bad. Because being a trainer is like being a parent and having a good parent. I watched Brian, how he was. I learnt a lot, and then with him sending me to the States and different countries with different trainers, I also picked up a lot. So I used my own twist. But then the hardest thing was the transaction from being from boxer to trainer, and then from trainer to manager, and then from manager to promoter. That was the hardest thing. But you know, to cut it short, I'm here now. It's doing well. It's working well. I'm using my own fight name, Black Flash, and we're making some. You know, we're making noise. We're doing good with the boxers as a promoter. And now I'm working with a matchmaker, even though I've done the matches myself. So that makes life a lot easier. So Dan Francis. So yeah, it's good.
Where did the desire come from to become a promoter when you was already a trainer?
To stop me from doing craziness I used to live before. Something to keep my mind preoccupied on something more like giving back rather than, you know, doing crazy shit. So this is now I feel so much better, and I feel I enjoy it more, and I enjoy the challenges that it comes with it, and the difficult times with, you know, telling boxers not to make, you know, try and keep on the right path, try and make the right choices, kind of thing, you know.
You mentioned Brian, your old trainer, Brian Hughes, you know, a British boxing legend, especially around here in these parts. Tell me the most valuable lesson that he taught you.
It taught me how to analyse fighters and don't try and teach everybody to be the same. Everybody's got different things, and just analyse fighters. You know, you might have some what are flat-footed, what can't box. You might have some what are fast on the feet that can't put. You know, it just taught me how to make them. Don't never change them. Always adjust them and make them the best of what they can do.
You've been in boxing a long time, achieved a lot, but what has, in your opinion, been your greatest achievement?
Matt, to me, was probably winning the Best Young Boxer of the Year award at the age of 21 when I won the British and the European title at a very young age, and only being a professional in 2 years, and I achieved a lot in them 2 years.
How much validation did that give you as a fighter?
It gave me a lot really, knowing that I could achieve so much, and with Brian telling me that if I could achieve this in this number of time, I'd be a world champion, and he actually believed that I would be a world champion, and I did fight for the world title 2 times. Unfortunately, I was not a world champion, but it was just a pleasure to have got where I got and to see where I come from to actually to touch the top.
What did you learn from your defeats, and how can you pass it on to the next generation of fighters now that you coach?
Well, I could say that I'm like a very seasoned person. I mean, when you're as old as me now, you say you've seen fashion come in and go out, even though I don't look it. But yeah, you know, the way I teach fighters now is basically they don't need to make the same mistakes. When I say shortcuts, I can teach them how to avoid to make the same mistakes. And if they listen, listening is key. A lot of people listen with this, not with this, because when you're trying to tell them something, you know, especially these younger fighters, they think they know more than you. And especially when you guide them to the top, then again, they start trying to tell you where they need to be. And that's what becomes a pain, because you've listened all this way to get where you are. Continue listening.
As I mentioned at the start of the interview, big fight night this Saturday night here at the Bowlers Exhibition Centre in Manchester for Black Flash Promotions. What is the ultimate vision for Black Flash Promotions?
Do you know what? For Black Flash Promotions, I just want to keep producing champions and hopefully get recognised. Not me get recognised, but the fighters get recognised for what they're doing, and to get the breaks and accomplish the dreams. And you know, for Black Flash Promotions, I think I'd probably want to be the first small law show to actually stage a physical world title fight, and keep it where we am. I don't want to go above to try and be a Frank Warren, Eddie Earn, Wasserman's, anything like that, Channel 5. I just want to be who we are, because give and take this away from us, yeah. Grassroots boxing is dying anyway, yeah. And if I was to try and get on them levels now of big TV, then I would also be killing grassroots boxing, because then we'd be gone. So I don't want to do that. Like next year we've got 21 dates to put on, and everyone goes, wow, 21 days, a bit ridiculous. And no, really, it's a challenge again, because that way I'm keeping kids in the game. Because listen, you've got Saudi, yeah, and you've got Sheikh, who's boxing's going nuts about it, yeah, and a lot of people are not going to get that Saudi money, are not going to get that opportunity, and ones that are not going to get that opportunity is kind of different. Do you know what I mean? And I don't want to take that away from them. I don't. So I want to stay with what I'm doing and keeping it grassroots.
What challenges have you encountered with the grassroots dying out, like you say, with the Saudi coming in and almost losing the small hall shows?
Nothing really. Just that I see it, and we had a young kid in there, Mikey Talon, and he fought on the Black Flash shows, and after he had a superb knockout in Liverpool, he's on them big shows now, and he's also made his way to fight for a title. He was meant to fight in December, and now he's on a different show fighting for the title, because this just gives you the opportunity. Yeah, we promote, we do everything we can. We've got our own channel, we're live streaming things, We're not trying to be anything else. The whole idea of me doing it is getting boxers recognised and getting them visualised and getting them seen. And once we can do that, it's small promotion is no different from big promoting, really. So, I mean, it's just like the same kind of money, it's a different kind of money. You know what I mean? But they're getting the same values. Look at you guys here now, and me doing this interview with you. I mean, we put all this together for the boxers so they can get seen.
You mentioned Mikey Talon. Well, use him as an example. Is that, for you, a box ticked in a positive as a promoter to see somebody who starts on your shows and then goes on to these bigger, better things?
No, because we've seen it before. I mean, look, again, I don't want to bang on about it, but Nick Ball was one of them that came through these shows. Lyndon Arthur was one that came through these shows. Elford Barrett was another one that came through these shows. And it's quite endless, Tasha Jonas is boxed on this show. Reinvent their career. It's endless where we could talk. There's a lot of good fighters that you see coming back down, because somewhere down the line you have to ignite, because it's not all the time these big promoters are signing that many fighters. Yeah, they've got too many. Yeah, that not every fighter is going to get out. So you might get signed by Frank Warren or an Eddie Hearn, but you're on the shelf until they decide to play. Unless it's something doing massive figures in tickets, then you'll get, they'll use you, because then you're the promoter's dream.
So in that sense, is it a case of that shows how vital grassroots boxing is?
It is, it's very vital. And, we all do it for the circumstances, for the reason. And like I said, my reason is to create as many champions again. And it builds itself, it sells itself. We promote ourselves and we do everything what we have to do and try to do for ourselves. And then that's what gets us where we want to get.
Pat, in terms of boxing, you've got a wealth of knowledge and experience. If we could go back in time, what advice would you give yourself when you was 18 years old?
That I should have listened more, really, because as I said before, when you stop listening, that's when you stop learning. And when you stop learning, that's when you think you know it all, and that's when you become no good. And that was my problem. After a little bit, I got to the top with Brian Hughes, and for some unknown reason, you meet people, you start doing different things, and your life changes. And it's hard to try and keep it control. It's very hard and difficult to keep a control, because you're doing things and you're getting certain things and you're living a certain way what you've never had before, and that becomes like an addict.
And just finally, Pat, before I let you go, just talk me through the show Saturday. Same with the show Saturday night.
Do you know what? We have a good show. Unfortunately, one of the main events is off due to Freezy Matt Bones not being able to fight, and that would have made a great fight. And we've still got Muhammad Ali versus Indibasi Singh, which is a tremendous, world title, I might as well say, because that title they're fighting for, that WBC Asian belt, it's like never been fought for on the UK ground before, UK soil. So for that to happen here and for me to put it together, it makes me feel proud of just doing that kind of thing. And again, like I say, it's small, but to me it's big. Do you know what I mean? I feel great in a small world, knowing that what I'm trying to achieve and how I'm achieving it and what I'm trying to do and how I'm doing it.
Absolutely. Pat, thank you very much for your time. Best of luck Saturday night.
Brilliant, thank you.